Stream active. Not a especially specific task I'm doing today. It's not that one, though. It's not that task. So let's go ahead and make sure I at least update that. I'm just going to mark this as maintenance. That's not where that lives. I did indeed build this for Unwecaster, so that makes sense to me. Let's see if npm install gets extremely mad because this is such a hilariously out-of-date version of Node on this system. Did I leave a straight-up typo in the currently, like, in what is actually live? I mean, that certainly shouldn't be timestamp. Wow. Okay, I can, like, make an immediate fix to not do that. I've said this before, but just in case anybody is here, I have so many identities that I'm in the habit of just doing per repository configuration of that stuff. Okay, that's unacceptable. I gotta change my default editor to be a grown-up editor. How do you actually do that in Debian? I knew it was update alternatives. I did not remember dash dash config. There we go. I'm not going to set it to NeoVim. I'll just set it to my basic install of Vim. That will be sufficient. That's more like it. That's more like it. All to type in to Pio. Hey, wait. Hey, wait. Where's my face? Where's my face? Well, 1 second. Where's my face? No face.
This is where my face would go if I had one.
Okay, what I actually, like, most immediately was going to do here. So part of the standard for web codecs is that the web codecs things are event emitters, but you can't actually subclass event emitter. So I'm gonna have to do my own fakey event emitter. It'll be fun. What do I want to call this? I'm going to use some silly UML terms and call this a HAZA event emitter. So here's how we do this. Oh, do I actually want this to be a class? I guess it has to be a class, yeah. So it'll be a class, that's fine. So if I want something to be an event emitter, but I can't actually subclass event emitter, what I do is I give it a private field that is an actual event emitter. Why don't I have... Oh dear. I don't understand why that's not in my path. That's supposed to get me NeoVim. Where do I want to put TypeScript language server? I think I want to put it right here. I think I want to put it right here. There we go. And that's why you actually use the types. That's why you use types. Do I even need... I don't need a constructor. I can just do... no, I do need a constructor. Am I crazy, or does the actual spec say event emitter? Like, why would it say that if that's not a thing? Because the internet is not real. There we go. Yep, that's the one. No idea where I hallucinated the term event emitter. It's called event target. Okay, whatever. Right, okay, so here's the trick. Add... God, why don't I remember... Add event listener, remove event listener. Those are what we need. And even though it doesn't really make sense to dispatch events in this sense, I am going to also include dispatch event, just so that this actually implements the entire event target API. Does this actually say it has to implement the entire event target API? Yep, that's an event target. And event targets have all three. Okay. Whatever. And then we go like this. ev.addEventListener.bind ev. Dot remove event listener equals ev.remove event listener.bind ev. And this won't be quite correct because the event target won't be correct, but nobody really uses the event target, so it maybe doesn't matter, hopefully. And there, that's how we do it. Now, I guess technically what I could do, well, no, I can't, because you can only add an event lister for a particular target. So to make this work, I would have to do something quite complicated. So like if I wanted for the DQ event, yeah. So here's the problem. Event target is distinct because the event target, of course, will be this thing rather than the real event. But this should suffice for most cases, most uses. So now, the basic problem was there's supposed to be a DQ event, and there's not. So let me see where the DQ event is supposed to happen. If I just search for DQ event, there we go. Okay, there's some avoiding event spam, but I'm not going to avoid event spam. I'm just going to... Okay. I mean, it's all in here, so... What I care about is the queue size, capital Q, because there are two kinds of queue. So when the queue size goes down, we also fire an event. Wait. Event target now. There we go. And then I should be able to dispatch a custom event. The event is DQ. I don't think the DQ event actually has anything in it, right? Like it's just a simple event, yeah. And that's it. That's all I need. That's not all I need. I lied. I also need to make a... Since these all take a DQ event, I'm gonna... Oh my god. I'm going to go ahead and put this here. You know what? I'll put this here. Export nothing in particular. Okay, so on DQ is an optional custom event to unknown. Then we can catch the event this way. And that way, both styles are supported. Even better. So rather than needing to be a has a event target, it can be a DQ event target. And that way, I don't need to specifically have on DQ, but it will still work. Improt. That's it. It's actually quite simple. Just needed to think of it. Hello, Joshua. Welcome. Just doing basically maintenance work, but good, important maintenance work. Unfortunately, this is going to take me no time, and this is supposed to be the dev hour. It's not going to take me anything like an hour. I don't actually have a plan for what I'm going to do after this maintenance. Nobody really uses this library, but it's a good library to be out there because it is the only like there's only two. Well, never mind. There's now three this is the second of three implementations of this standard. Log off and live my life. I have a rich and exciting life. Spending an hour 3 times a week doing this is not a detriment to that. Argument type event is not. I guess, yeah, I did just say event. That was too generic. Or I did just say custom event. I said custom event, which is too specific, rather than event, which is adequately generic. Yeah, even though I know in practice this is always a custom event. I mean, you also don't want to call it a custom event because the detail's not there, so. Okay. Wow, do I not even have like a demo here? Samples. There we go. Answer. I do have a demo here. It's fine. Yep, okay. That looks fine. It's quite an old version of libav.js there, but That's fine. And now I can remove that limitation from my list of limitations. Hooray! Any other limitations here that are easily removed? Well, this just isn't even true anymore. I guess I could fix this. This is an easy fix. That's a very easy fix, because I can always just convert it to an array. One moment, quick bathroom break. Donde where I? Donde where I? Donde was I? Right, sequence. Okay, where is this supposed to be a sequence? Are you kidding me? There's no way description is a sequence. No. It's a shared okay, it's a buffer source. Buffer source can't be a sequence. God, if that is allowed to be a sequence, then I'm not even gonna try to do that. Yeah, it's just a rainbow. Okay, was that freaked me out for a second. It's like there's no way that this should not use the word sequence. I understand why it does, but it should not. Yeah, here we go. Like the transfer list. Do I even have it? Wait, transfer? What the hell is transfer? This must be new. Coded audio chunk in it. Data. Oh, no, no. Okay, wait. No, it's okay, yeah. I know what transfer is. It's just not. It's just something I can't actually support because of how this implementation works. So that's fine. Doesn't matter if that's a sequence because I'm not doing anything with it anyway. So this doesn't matter because that's the opposite side. If I'm supposed to return a sequence and I return an array, that's fine. Layouts I don't actually support. It has to be tightly packed. Are there any actual sequences? Am I imagining that this was a real problem? Are there any arrays in this entire specification? I think there are no arrays. Everywhere it says sequence, I demanded an array. Also, that's nowhere. There are no such things, but I still demand it. Okay, so I do actually take layout. I didn't realize I took layout anywhere. Just doing a quick look through for any of these that actually come from the standard rather than just my code. Seems like the only one is going to be the layout, weirdly. Which is all to do with video frames. So somewhere there's the actual layout type. Yeah, here we go. So this is supposed to be a sequence, which is a type that... Oh dear. What does libav.js do? Asked Joshua in chat. So libav is the multimedia framework of essentially all software. It's not all software, but it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. So it is what, like, recognizes all of the various multimedia file types. By multimedia, I specifically mean video and audio in this context. So it's what recognizes, like, MP4 files and what their content is. It connects all of the software that can, like, decode video data and such to a single interface. Yeah, so it is a framework for audio and video, hence libav. Libav.js is my port of libav to the web. And libav.js is extremely popular. Libav.js web codex polyfill is to connect libav.js to a web library for doing that kind of thing called web codex. Libav.js web codex polyfill is less popular, but not unused. You know what? I know how I can ask for this. I can see what the type in array.from is. Array-like. Okay. Anything that's array flavored. Thank you. If it's already an array, we'll just use it. Don't want to actually lose this comment. Otherwise, I'll just convert it to an array anyway. That's the trick. Yeah, so internally it is always an array. I just allow it to be initialized as a non-array. Now, I think I don't even actually support... Oh, I do. Okay. Interesting. Here I actually do specify array-like. I must have... Oh wait, no, this is that. This is the one I just changed. Then what was that first one? Video frame buffer in it. Oop. There it is. Thought you got away from me. There's no escape. Uh, yeah, so that definitely wants it to be an array. There we go. And that's how you get any sequence to be an array. Now, this won't compile because I will have missed something. Holy shit, I missed nothing. That's not possible. And weirdly, those were the only sequences, so... Let's do a quick correct for fix me, see if any of these seem important. No, not really. So I'll just push again, even though I already did. And then do nothing. I don't know. So the thing is, I have stuff that's like ready for actual release in on WeCaster. I'm not done, Joshua. I'm not gonna end just because I don't know what the hell I'm doing now. I have stuff that's ready for release in on WeCaster, but you know, I need to do like a proper test, and that takes time and also takes like equipment that I'm not going to get out for a stream. In that I have to have like, you know, an Android phone and iOS and my stupid Mac and just a Windows system, you know, just a I should play the sequel to Oxid. How about no? I should figure out what the sequel to Contraptia is going to be. There's the real plan. I Why would Contraption? It does not need a sequel, Joshua, not by any stretch of the imagination. uh I was looking into AI generated music to make a Contraptia soundtrack. But it's all real bad. Like it's proper bad. It's not good stuff. It's bad. It's the bad kind of stuff. I think I'll just check out the world of Fix Maze. Malo plays it, Joshua. That's 4. Popularity isn't everything. That's fair. Fair point. Hard to argue with that. I don't even know it. Like, this fix me isn't actually worth it. I'm never going to fix that. Oh, wow. Do I actually not support every format here? I guess I probably don't. Although there aren't any other formats I can support. I guess I could support U16P if anybody's going to use something ridiculous like that. Wow, are there that few fix-me's sitting around in this code? Joshua, it's not that it needs music. The music would make it worse. But it's just the comedy of all of the imagery is AI. Like it has AI generated ads because they're stupid. And if the AI generated music was stupid in a funny way instead of just stupid in an annoying way, it would already be there. But it's really more stupid in an annoying way than stupid in a funny way. So I guess I don't really do anything. There's always something to do with on WeCaster. I just need to think of what that something is, and by think of, I do mean check my to-do list. Amusingly, first thing on my to-do list is not on WeCaster, it is libav.js. Wow, that was just dumb. It's just something I noticed but didn't fix at the time. Do I have what it takes to do this? I don't know whether that actually went through for you. I'm betting no. The hell? Well, that doesn't matter. Speech dispatcher. Go to that. Okay, here we go. If you've never heard a blind person using a screen reader, then this sounds horrifying to you. If you've ever heard a blind person using a screen reader, this is slow by their standards. Why is it reading everything instead of just what I have selected? Okay, there we go. If you've ever actually heard I mean, you know, anyone who uses a screen reader normally, you don't have to be blind to use a screen reader, but anyone who uses a screen reader normally, this is slow. Oop. Oop, oop, oop. Suffice to say, I don't know how to use a screen reader very well. This actually seems pretty good, though. Except that it doesn't make it clear which one is currently selected. But I think that that's just because Orca is a really shitty screen reader. Let me see how it sounds in Chrome. Again, like, it sounds nightmarish, but if you ever get the opportunity to hear a blind person using their phone or something, this is like, this is so slow compared to like a pro. Yeah, I think it's just Orca being shitty that doesn't, Also, I'm using a keyboard that doesn't have a numpad, which doesn't help either. Ooh. This is less bad than I was expecting it to be. I actually think that was quite a successful test. Orca is like the worst screen reader in existence, but it did not like get lost, which is which is good. Like everything was in the right order, everything was where it ought to be. Where things can easily get lost is like the way you lay out the page. It sort of reads down a bunch of options like they're a column, and then reads all of the options, which is obviously useless and unusable. So it's like Orca is so bad. Like so as a Linux user, you know, there are definitely lots of Linux users who use screen readers and they don't use Orca, or rather they use Orca with a better voice, or they, you know, that, but it's just the one that's like installed by default. It's part of GNOME, and GNOME is terrible, so of course Orca is terrible. Joshua, I did so like I always think about screen readers when I make software, and in Contraptia was like, oh, what should a screen reader do? And then there was this like 10-second pause of how do I make a screen reader do this? Wait, the entire point is this is AI generated images. I'm sorry, this is just a game that the blind can't play. Like, I'm sorry, there's no way you can't get around that. This is, you know, I can't like make image descriptions because the whole like that's the point. So sorry, I made an ableist game. I did update the protocol. I don't know why I keep not committing this change. See, that's how the AI generated music would be good. If not for the fact that the music it generates from a prompt has literally nothing to do with anything. How do we improve contraption? Not by changing the ads, that's for sure. Not by changing the amazing ads. Vampire 2407. And not by preventing this guy from having a horse come out of his mouth or a horse's mouth come out of his mouth. Contraption's really good. It's so good. Oh no. You know what? I know exactly what I need to work on. I have an idea for something that will enormously help me and potentially others. Are those Android music generators like A, is that a thing? But B, probably all of those are just there's some shit running on a server and that shit is already open source and they just don't want to like tell you about it. What I want is how do you make different drivers? Song Spark. Wow. Such documentation. Wow. I mean, so does Refusion.com. It generates semi competent music. The problem is, like, with an image, if you say generate teeth, it's going to draw teeth. With a music generator, if you say generate teeth, it's not going to, like, generate the sound of teeth chattering. Uh, oh, oh. That's actually kind of interesting. So it's trained on MIDI rather than it's probably a large language model trained on some text-based version of MIDI. Then, uh, anyway, but yeah, it's not going to generate the sound of teeth chattering or something, and so it's still like useless for contraption. God, that's right. It's all callback based. That is very stupid. Okay. Well, I mean, regardless, it's MIDI, so it's not going to make the sound of teeth chattering for teeth. Like, it doesn't actually, even though it could be a hell of a lot better than Refusion, it's not going to fit into, like, the game. It's not, it's just not really, like, I don't think it's possible to make an audio version, or a music version. It's possible to make an audio version. I don't think it's possible to make a music version of it. What I would need is, like, AI Foley. And then I have to type in open source so I don't get a bunch of assholes advertisements. And then I have to guess what the hell Foley.com is. Can you, like, can you please just use the word Foley? Ugh, this shit sucks. Okay, I'm already done. I'm already done with that. Okay, so somewhere, yeah, fine. So my basic idea is that I would like to use the API of local forage, but have it actually store non-locally. Uh, and that way I can use users like Google Drive and such as a back for my own storage. So that's the plan. But at this point, I think it's mostly just study. Obviously, we'll need TypeScript. I'll start with Google Drive. Oh my, let me install the JavaScript without, like, I'll do the rest later. So, Joshua, that is essentially what I was trying to do with Refusion. And the problem is that uh, it it does generate music based on that. It's just that music is so much more abstract than imagery is that so like Contraptia, in order to make Contraptia, I had to manually prune the word list to get rid of all the words that are too abstract. And if like the media is also adding its layer of abstraction, then like how many words could I actually have that would be sufficiently unabstract that you would be able to guess them from music? I think like four: guitar, piano. Okay, so this is the client side JavaScript API, which is what I want to see. Why did it say I need npm if it's not going to tell me to install anything with npm? It's just to run the example out of test H. God, I hate you, Google. This is specifically for... Huh. That's interesting, Joshua. So it's rather than... I mean, it's no longer Contraptia because there's not really an AI involved. I guess the search is kind of an AI. But I guess the biggest problem with that is copyright. Like getting the... getting snippets that are copyright free and yet diverse enough for random words. I feel like AI Foley is actually like that might be true. I have the like I bought the everything pack from Kevin McLeod. The if you pay me X dollars, you just get it all. Here it is, all in one big old download. And yeah, it's diverse. It is certainly diverse. So here's the potential problem, Joshua. Uh, what would you do? What would it select for log? What would it select for gun? What would it select for professor? It's like there's some things that are less abstract and some things that are more abstract. Professor, you might be able to do. What would it select for? Hmm, giant, I suppose. Magic is very doable. Pipe could be tricky. Tree is definitely doable. Village is doable. Hmm. Maybe. Maybe. I just don't use this word list. Maybe the word list is the Kevin McLeod word list. Well, so just because there's music for every occasion, quote unquote, does not mean that anyone could possibly, in a million years, actually reverse it back to the title, which is essentially the game. Okay, I give up on getting a TypeScript version of this interface. It's not that bad, Joshua. Like this one today, you see a lot of tongues, you guess tongue. You see a lot of airplanes, you guess airplane. There are some words like in some previous ones, the word memo has come up, and clearly AI does not know what a memo is. AI did not get the memo, so they're better and worse. Okay, so I ultimately want. Uh, where's my? Oh, I know. Why is that happening? I will fix that some other time. That's more like it. Why do doctors sadden you so much? No, no, I think there's something there, Joshua. I think it might require a different word list, but there's something potential there. There is potential there. McClapcha. Okay, what the hell is happening now? I did not want to import star. I wanted to import type. Why did you change that? What is happening? Do I remember how to do anything? Literally the exact same import. This is slightly driving me mad. I'll just go one by one through those and think about how they need to happen. I wish this had types. You know what? You've distracted me quite effectively. You've distracted my attention quite masterfully, and now I'm gonna get the music and take a quick look. I think you are imagining this to be simpler than it is. Wow. Why is this taking so long to copy files from my computer to a different place on my computer? This happens to be, yes, all the music from 2018. That's when I bought it. I suspect that he's written a little bit more in the 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 12, 5 years since I bought this set. It's not it's not an intelligence thing, Joshua. I think it's just it's a different sort of understanding.
These were zipped on Mac. Uh
Hello, FF Probe. Is it like, is this whacking my hard disk so hard that FF Probe can't run? Hello, this is a magnetic disk because I live in this century. Hmm. Where's all the metadata? I thought the metadata was right in here. Doesn't seem to be. Yeah, I thought it was ID3 tags, but oh, there it is. It's in a file called incompetent music metadata. What a cryptic name. Oy vey. Tab separated values. Wow, look at all these options. Look at all these very slow options because hard disk. Hey, that's finally done. Okay, show me what kind of metadata you got in here, McLeod. Guess who's never opened LibreOffice on this virtual machine? That's this guy. The combinations, I mean, I guess this is drifting farther and farther away from Contraptia, but trying to figure out how to combine words seems difficult. Hello. Oh, you could have one word and multiple pieces of music. Oh my god, that's it. All I need is like, well, I guess I don't know how. Yeah, I first I need to figure out how tagged the music is. The thing is, Joshua, like, if you want to go through and tag every piece of music, he's got thousands of them. Okay, this is madness. What the heck? Why is that taking that long? Instruments. Did you know that LibreOffice is really slow? That does not make it easier, Joshua. Yeah, what was so the problem is like the sheer quantity of data. Like somebody or some AI would need to go through and pick out, oh, this piece of music reminds me of these words because we don't really have anything like that. Like the description is not here are situations where it would go well in. So like it just going with the previous one, if I look for professor, oh look at that, there's one with professor in the title, and yeah, other than a couple cases of professor being in the title, but there might be something in the feel. Yeah, and that's the issue, Joshua, is like that is a like that's not a several hours project, that's like a several months project probably. Well, I mean that's a several months project to I how many rows are in this out of date database 2018 there were 1287. Listen to 1287 pieces of music and give me some not genre, but like how genre's just a number here. Give me some descriptive words or what they evoke for all of them. I mean, the file size has nothing to do with it, Joshua, but it's a few gigs. Something like what, 8 gigs? Let me actually show that rather than just saying it. Yeah, something like 8 gigs. I mean, Contraptia right now is 13 gigs. Contraptia at this very moment is 13 gigs, and that is only in the so I have them hyper compressed. I've got uh them all WebP compressed on the uh server. So WebP compressed, they're 18 gigs, or 13 gigs. Uh, the original, the like ping compressed, so basically uncompressed, full quality. I'm checking the file size right now, is 141 gigs. Uncompressed, there are 141 gigs of Contrapture right now. These things are big. It's just a lot of data. It's funny because like each individual thing is not very large, but it adds up fast. You know, if each thing is 3 megs, but then there are 250 of them per puzzle. Do the math. I do. There is something in this, and I feel like an AI could do something you're suggesting. And I mean, it doesn't have to be an AI, but when things get chonky, I start to think an AI could do this. Make the robots do it. There are slaves. I like how some of these just don't have a description. Description is I couldn't be bothered. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the descriptions are so eclectic. I mean, it's sort of unsurprising that the descriptions are so eclectic, but they are eclectic. Does this know enough about time format that if I go like this... Did not think so. Cool. Oop, oop. None of this. None of that. Hmm. God, why does it all have to be ads? I'm sorry, I didn't type open source. The problem is this is going to be tagging in the wrong sense. This is going to be tagging like, I have music from my CDs, tell me where it is. Yeah, wrong kind of tag. There's house, that's a noun. Why is that one capitalized? Oh yeah, I mean his music is quite diverse. The issue is simply getting those tag combinations so that everything else can be like is doable. It's just a quantity of data thing. That's like all there is to it really. It's just a quantity of data thing. There is much data here. Do you have any time functions? Not like that, you don't. Okay. That's a time value in something. Is that hours? Is that days? Is that percentage of a day? I like how it confidently puts some number there, but it's just like utter hogwash. Uh, is that 1/24th? Yes, okay. So that's how it's interpreting it. A day is one. Fine. Okay, let's figure out how long all of this is, just for giggles. This is nearly 3 days of music. And that's 2018. This is a measure in days. Here it is in hours. It's 70.3 hours. It's the quantity of data that's the problem. It's the quantity of data. There's a lot. There's a lot of data. But there is, yeah, there's something here in like, you find instead, so like it's flipping it on its head in that it's like six different pieces of music that are all tagged with one word, but hopefully don't have any other words in common. Or six. I don't know why six. I don't even know why I landed on six for Contraptia, but it's n pieces of music. I know exactly why I landed on six for Contraptia because two to the six is a approachable number, whereas two to the seven is too much, and two to the five is smaller than it needs to be. Anyway, yeah. So you have like five, six, whatever pieces of music that have all been tagged with some kind of like themes they evoke or something, and then you try to select like what is the theme they all have in common. Interesting. It's just that first step of like the themes they evoke that seems uh quite quite complex. Well, that's brought me to pretty much the end of this stream being distracted. I was going to start writing non-local forage, but that didn't happen. Debian. All love Debian. Well, I might noodle on that a bit. I might think about how to make that a little bit more tractable. Until next time, I'm gonna go make dinner.